our great governor, Governor Deval, passed.
That every voice, every hand, every heart, every soul, every neighbor engage right now. Because everybody's future is at stake.
That's right.
Everybody's future is at stake. We have a fabulous candidate for Lieutenant Governor in Steve Carrigan. We have a fabulous candidate for Attorney General in Maura Healey. We have a fabulous candidate for the Senate in Harriet Chandler. Up and down the Democratic ticket, all throughout the land, we have what it takes to keep moving forward.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
what are you going to do about it?
Work.
You got to vote? Yes. But you got to bring everybody you know along with you.
That's right.
Because I want to tell you a lesson or two I have learned in this job. And it's something I have talked to Martha about, and one of the reasons why I am enthusiastic about her run for governor. So it turns out that there are a handful of people who have the money and the resources and the connections to assure their interests on Beacon Hill. They don't care who the governor is.
No. That's right.
They know whether it's me or a Republican, how to get their phone calls returned, how to get a meeting with the governor. They're good people, a lot of them, but it doesn't matter who the governor is. They know what to do. Everybody else depends on who the governor is.
Yeah, that's right.
And whether the governor sees you.
That's right.
Does the governor see the strivers and the strugglers who are not already connected? And is thinking about how you grow an economy out to everybody, not just up to the well-connected.
That's right.
Does the governor see education not as some line in the budget, but as a way forward and up for young people who are looking for a way forward and up, and whose talent we need in this growing economy? Does the governor see the train to Worcester, or down to the South Coast, or up to Merrimack Valley as some new expenditure, some new thing you gotta spend money for? Or does he see, or she see, that that's about reaching for the opportunity that enables you to make a better way for yourselves and your families? The governor needs to see that. Does the governor see central Massachusetts?
Right.
Massachusetts. Let me tell you, it matters who the governor is.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm here to tell you, Martha Coakley sees us all. And that's why we need Martha in the governor's office. You know, there is a decision every governor will have. Tough, complicated, maybe even controversial decisions that are not easy or popular. And I had such an experience. Actually, I've heard a bunch of experiences. It's been 8 years after.
You did a good job, man.
Thank you. I had such an experience not too long ago when the Obama administration asked many states whether we could offer temporary shelter to these poor, desperate children who were stranded on the border. And feelings about that ran hot, and I understand that.
Right.
Because feelings about immigration itself run hot. I get that. And I am so tired of people saying to me, don't I understand the difference between legal and illegal? Of course I do. I'm a lawyer. But I also understand that for people who speed, we don't go right to the death penalty. Right? We think about proportionality.
That's right.
And so to me, accepting the challenge to temporarily shelter these poor children was an act of patriotism and of faith. I knew it was not easy for everybody. I knew it was complex and controversial. And I experienced something in the wake of that I want to share with you. I had a free morning, one morning not long ago, on a weekend. And I had some errands to run at Home Depot. And I thought, you know, it's early in the morning. I shouldn't bother the troopers. They don't like it when I say that, by the way. And I would just run off to Home Depot and run these errands. So I knew exactly what aisle everything was in. And I knew that these errands had to be done or else I was going to have you-know-what to pay with Diane. So I jumped in the car in my T-shirt and jeans and flip-flops, my cap and dark glasses. And in the very first aisle I was in, I was outed by the manager. Welcome, Governor. It's nice to see you. Caught me. I had 7 encounters in the Home Depot with other people who were shouting. One was with a man in the checkout line who was angry. Now, he wasn't rude. He wasn't inappropriate. He was angry, and he was loud. And he said, Governor, I couldn't disagree with you more about your offer to these children. He said, you know, my own wife is an immigrant. She came here legally. That's the way it ought to be. I want you to know I think you're wrong. And I said, thank you very much for your feedback. And I want you to know everybody in the line knew who was mad at whom. Right? I had 6 other encounters, all on the same subject. And every single one of those other 6 encounters, someone came up and whispered to me, Governor, I'm with you.
Amen.
Thank you for doing right by those children.
Amen.
Now, here's the thing. You may not know, and you wouldn't suspect that the calls and messages to the office were 3 and 4 to 1 in favor of that decision. But all we heard about were the people shouting their anger, shouting, in some cases, their hatred. I'm here to tell you it's time for us to shout justice, to shout compassion. Let our goodness out. Why is it we go to church and to houses of worship on holy days and talk about goodness in our personality and then somehow feel goodness is not appropriate in our policy?
Amen.
So to me, that is what is at stake. Are we going to be about seeing everybody and the justice everybody is striving for and hungering for? Are we going to be about affirmatively lifting people, giving them the tools to imagine a different future and then to reach for it? Are we going to be about the kind of commonwealth and country we thought we were and have every possibility to be? In fact, are we going to be the kind of commonwealth and country that made a way for a poor kid on welfare from the south side of Chicago to imagine serving as your governor? And I say to you, if that is the kind of commonwealth we are going to be, we have to elect Martha Coakley as the next governor.
That's right.
Now, you all know what to do. You all know what to do. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're hot and bothered. I am too. I'm glad some of you have beer in your hand. And I hope all of you do before the night is out. But tomorrow, you need to pick up the phone.
That's right.
You need to talk to somebody, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers. Every single one of you, and I've said it a million times, as a cranky uncle, you know you're not supposed to bring up politics with, because they are way, way, way on the other side of that question. But you have to engage them too.
That's right.
Right? Because Martha and Steve and Maura And Deb and Suzanne are not running to lead the Democratic Party. They are running to lead all of us. The people who don't agree, because everybody has a stake in a more just, more compassionate, and more fair future. So let's go do the work. Let's go engage. Let's go ask the questions. Let's put out of our mind all the noise that comes from the other side that is just designed to psych us out and make us think, well, we lost already. By the way, they did that 8 years ago and 4 years ago.
They didn't win. That's right.
They did the same thing. Don't worry about all the money pouring in here to tear Martha down. It's up to us to lift us all up.
That's right.
It's up to us. It's up to us.
Don't be a lonely voter. Do not just go to vote. Take your people with you.
That's exactly right. It sounds like the message is getting through. Are we ready for Martha? Are we ready for justice? Ladies and gentlemen, the next governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Martha Coakley.
I say if Governor Patrick can get up on a chair, so can
That's
I.
it.
So can we all.
Right.
So let me just first say I couldn't be more excited to be with you here. But I heard there were a lot of people here. Hello, Worcester. Right.
Hello, Governor.
Hello.
Right.
3.5 more weeks to do this.
3 weeks.
So let me thank our wonderful governor for inspiring us, for breaking all those ceilings, for leading us into the 21st century here in Massachusetts. So I had a chance to visit sophomores and juniors in a high school where there's 70 languages spoken, first generation kids. They were learning coding. They taught me how to get the angry birds to eat each other. I'm very happy about that. When these kids said to me about their teacher, Paul Marks, they said, Mr. Marks teaches us how to walk and we learn how to fly. And I thought, this is what we want for all of our kids.
That's right.
And I know, as you do, that our goal is to let every kid in Massachusetts find a dream and follow it. And my Republican opponent doesn't believe that. It's not what he stands for, it's not what he'll invest in, and it's not what we're about in Massachusetts. So who's with me to work?
All right.
My husband, Tom O'Connor, is here tonight.
Hey, Tom.
I said to Tom last summer, if we're going to get in this race, we're going to do it 1,000%. We're going to work every day. We're going to knock on more doors. We're going to work harder than anybody else, and he's been on the trail with me. We've got 3.5 more weeks, and I promise you this. If you will have our back and help knock on doors and call your friends, and as we said, bring them out to vote, we will win this. Yeah. And you all have a tremendous stake in making sure.
We got your back.
We got your back. All right. So let's agree. We're going to make this happen. I am honored to call you tonight. I look forward to seeing you on the trail. I hope you know what's at stake. I hope you know we can do this, because I know that we can.
We'll do it.